There is a special place in Shreveport that'll honor the dead of the past. Tonight, we're taking a journey back in history to an event the city will always remember. In the city's oldest cemetery, established in 1842, lies the final resting place of a major event of Shreveport's history.
Where we're standing is actually the site where the city opened up a single trench that serves as a mass grave for over 800 people.
Historian Dr. Cheryl White recounts when a viral epidemic led to an unprecedented death toll that halted the growing city. Yellow fever struck Shreveport in 1873, spreading so fast the city could not keep up with the sheer number of dead.
So the city council in mid-September of 1873 made the decision that for the most efficient disposal of the dead, and the healthiest, probably for the community, disposal of the dead, was to simply open a trench and lay people in here.
Known as the Yellow Fever Mound, Dr. White explains it was a major project of a burial as deep as 20 feet below ground. More than 800 of the dead were placed in a mass grave inside Oaklawn Cemetery in 1873.
Unless you had special access to a family plot, you were likely to end up in this mass grave. So these were citizens of Shreveport.
The public health emergency of Shreveport's past put the city's future in question.
Shreveport lost 1/4 of its population within about 12 weeks. So it was a dramatic population loss.
Dr. White is part of the Oaklawn Preservation Society that began a project last year to raise funds and design a monument to honor those dead.
To memorialize these people in a lasting and appropriate way.
The Preservation Society partnered with the city that allocated funds to build the Yellow Fever Monument that'll list every known name of those who are buried in the mound.
We were able to recreate a list of almost all the names except those known but to God, as we say, and they will be memorialized here in a major monument that will cover the entire top of the mound, that will have an eternal flame and will list every single name of those known.
The monument will reflect on a time everyone can now relate to.
We were in the COVID-19 pandemic at the time we were trying to memorialize an epidemic here in Shreveport, and there's so many striking parallels.
Dr. White explains it's also needed because human remains have come to the surface in recent years.
Just about 4 years ago, and there were the remains that came up near the Milam Street wall of the cemetery of a young girl.
The city will host a dedication ceremony on October 7th that marks the peak of the 1873 epidemic.
It is a place in our history where things could have gone a different way. Shreveport, to have lost such a large percentage of its population, could have easily not survived as a city. But yet what we see is within the next decade, the city is back to a booming economy. We are prosperous. We have a larger population than ever before by 1880. Anniversaries like this provide a natural opportunity for people to stop, not just remember, but to also reflect on the lessons.
Such an interesting and pivotal point of our history to learn about. Well, Dr. White hosts tours of the Oaklawn Cemetery where you can learn more about the Yellow Fever Mound and more interesting parts of Shreveport's history.